Welcome to this grammar lecture. We're going to look at verbs, and we're going to look at a problematic verb that I see so often in IELTS, PT, OET writing that, yes, I thought it was necessary to do something about it. So let's get started. So verbs are in the middle of the sentence. We know this. We looked at subject, verb, object in the last two lectures. If you haven't seen them, I recommend you go and watch them, because this lecture will make more sense if you've watched those sentence parts lectures first. So subject, verb, object. Here's the verb, right? That's the verb. It sits in the middle of the sentence. It is so important to the sentence. The verb must be correct. It absolutely must be correct, because it's probably the most important part of the sentence, right? Now, look at this sentence. It says, linguists like languages, right? So a linguist is somebody who studies languages. Linguists like languages. There's the verb, like. Fine. There are three main verbs in English. There are do verbs, be verbs, and have verbs. These are the three main verbs. We're going to look at do verbs in this lecture. Do verbs are words like get, think, see, want. These are do words: make, come, find, give, do, go, know, say, take, work, tell. These are do words, okay? All of these verbs are do words. And let's look at some more complex ones. These are also do words: contemplate, decrease, optimize, pave, maintain, monitor, provide, elevate, signal, predict, detect, indicate, follow, sense. These are do words as well, but just more complex ones. So here's a little task. I just want you to find the do verbs in this paragraph, okay? Just type it into the chat. Type in all of the do verbs that you can see. Good, Baljit, you've got one. That's good. Good, Diana. You've got two. Good, Mayor. Excellent. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Good, Mahul. Examine, well done. Exchange, monitor, harvest, explore, develop, interact, function. Aware is not a verb. It's an adjective. You are aware. Emit. Good, 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 good. Excellent. All right, cool. That's fine. You don't need to get them all. I just wanted you to be able to see those do verbs in this paragraph. So there are actually 12 of them, and here they are here. Examine, function, exchange, monitor, search, maintain, explore, harvest, develops, interact, exchange, and results. These are the do words. Excellent. Well done. Cool. But you may have just noticed that there are two types of do verb. There's do and there's does, right? So two types of do verbs. Which one? Do or does? So let's look at all the do verbs: get, think, see, want, find, come, make, go, know, give, work, tell, etc. And these can also change into does. So instead of get, it says gets. Think, thinks. See, seized. Takes, wants, tells, works. So essentially what happens is you put an S on the end of this verb, right? And here are the complex verbs, the same. They're exactly the same, but they're just less common. So follow, contemplate, decrease, provide, etc. becomes follows, predicts, contemplates, decreases, optimizes, monitors, with an S. So now I want you to identify if the verb is a do verb or a does verb. Okay, I'm going to show you that same paragraph. Find the do's and find the does. In fact, just find the two. There are two does verbs here. I want you to identify the two does verbs with the S. Good, Sujaya. Well done. And Bina? Yes, Ahmed. Well done. Good, Naresh. You got one. That's good. Good, Livia. You got both. Not quite, Aravind. That's a noun. Good, Miljenko. You've got one. Develops. Excellent. And the other one is results. Cool. Well done. So there are 10 do verbs, which we saw before. These ones don't have an S, like examine, function, exchange, monitor, search, maintain, explore, harvest, exchange, interact. But there are 2 verbs in there that are the same, except they have the S on the end, and they are develops and results. Okay, so there were 2. So if you got them, well done. So that's good. So we've now understood that there are do verbs and does verbs. Let's keep going. So when do you do and when do you does? When do you use do and when do you use does? So using do or does depends on the subject, right? So if we go back to our subject verb object structure that we know that linguists like languages. And we know that linguists like. A linguist likes. They like. He likes. Right? So subjects are always nouns or pronouns. Okay? Subjects are always nouns or pronouns. They can't just be an adjective, or a subject can't be a verb, for example. They're always noun or pronoun, right? A scientist, robots, she, they. There we go. We've got a noun. We've got nouns, plural, she and they, pronoun. Okay? And subjects are always one or more than one. A scientist, she, robots, they. So hidden inside this word is meaning of whether it's one or more than one, right? So a scientist is one. She refers to one girl. Robots refers to more than one. And they refers to more than one. We do this in English. Some languages do it differently. English just does one or more than one, right? So now I want you to find the subjects, and just remember that subject is anything that comes before the verb. Subject is anything that comes before the verb. So find the subjects in this sentence, please. In this paragraph, rather. Good, Bina. Well done. Yes, good, Ramis. Yes, 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 good. Everyone's got the first one, which is great. Good, and Divya's got the second one. Excellent. Or the third one, rather. So I'll give you a hint. There are nouns, and there is one pronoun in here as well. Remember, the subject is anything that comes before the verb. Cool. All right, let's take a look. So these are the subjects. We've got Aqua robotic scientists, plural, more than one, examine. The robots, exchange. The project, singular, one, develops. It results. So they are the subjects of each sentence, right? Cool. So let's go back to them and let's ask ourselves, are these subjects, do they refer to one or more than one, right? That's important information that we need to understand to get our grammar right. Is the subject referring to one thing or more than one thing? So let's just call this number 1, number 2, number 3, and number 4. Tell me if number 1 is referring to one thing or more than one thing. Number 2, is it referring to one thing or more than one thing, etc.? Good, Sujai. Yes. Good, Naresh. Yes. Good, 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 good. Yes. So one in when you're studying English, they refer to one as singular. One thing is singular or single or one. And if it's more than one, it means plural. So one robot, singular. Robots, plural, more than one. Okay? It's a funny word, but that's how we refer to it. Cool. So let's have a look. Well, Aqua robotic scientists, more than one. The robots, more than one. The project, one. It, one. Again, in English, it's extremely important to think about how many, number. One or more than one. Just ask yourself, if you're writing a sentence, ask yourself, am I talking about one thing or more than one thing? Am I talking about one robot or more than one robots, etc.? Because it affects when you use do or does, right? So let's look at this. Scientists examine. Robots function. Robots exchange, monitor, search, maintain, explore, and harvest. Robots interact and exchange. The project develops. It results. Interesting. So there's an influence here. This subject is changing the verb. It affects the verb, okay? But how? It's a funny thing. Here's the rule. One, and this is what you just have to keep in your mind when you're writing these sentences. One thing does. Please say it after me. Ready? One thing does. One thing does. You need to just burn that into your brain, right? The project develops. One thing does. It results. One thing does. Not the project develop. One thing do. Oh, it's wrong. One thing do. Oh, it result. No, no. I'm saying this because I see a lot of PTE essays and a lot of IELTS essays, and so often I see the scientist research. No, the scientist researches. One thing does, not one thing do, right? Here's a task. Choose do or does, okay? Remember, one thing does. Basically, what I want you to do is look at the verb and decide, is it a do verb or is it a does verb? Here we go. I've helped you out. I've labeled the subjects. The verb comes after the subject. Is it a do or a does? Type it into the chat. Yes, Amit, that's correct. Good, Mayo. Well done. The climate does. Good. Yes, well done, Bella. Correct. Well done. You've spotted the pronoun and the verb. You've got that right. That's great. Yes, one thing does. That's the rule. That's the rule. Excellent. Let me help you out a little bit more. Now I want you to think about, let's look at the verbs. The verbs have been highlighted now. So you can see, for example, researchers know, storms occur, the climate warm, scientists report, the examination explore, and describe, it offer. So now can you please type into the chat the correct verb? Type in the subject verb, actually. Type in the subject and the verb, but make sure the verb's correct. Good, Sonal, correct. Why? One thing does, Sonal. Good, Anu, well done. Good, Marilyn. Yes, Divya. Yes, the examination explores. One thing does. Scientists report. Good. Ooh, Tahir. Not it offer. One thing does. It offers. It is one thing. Yes, good. Well done, Ramis and Anu. Rachel, excellent. Diana, good. The climate warms. The examination explores and describes. It offers. Good, Bruno. Cool. All right. Let's look at the answers here. So let me disappear. Let's have a look. So researchers know. Why? Why do and not does? Because here researchers do. Researchers know that dangerous storms occur as the climate warms. Interesting. So if there's an S here, there's no S here, right? S, no S. But here, no S means it's one thing does. The scientists report. The examination explores and describes. It offers. It is one thing. It offers. They offer. Cool. Let's have a look. Researchers know storms occur, the climate warms, scientists report, the examination explores and describes, it offers. Cool. Let's do one more, right? This time I'm not going to tell you what the subjects are, but you just need to remember that one thing does. If the subject is singular, if the subject is referring to one thing, then that verb should have an S on it. Let's have a look. So this time type in the subject and correct verb. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Yes. One thing does. One thing does. Yes, energy converts. It results. Energy drives. Excellent. Report suggests. Brilliant. Well done. Looks like everybody's getting it. Good, Bruno. Well done. Yes, here we go. Atmosphere. Is it one? Yes, it's referring to one, the atmosphere. It doesn't say atmospheres, it just says atmosphere. So what's the verb? Heat. One thing does, the atmosphere heats. Good, Sheila. Excellent. Results suggest. Bellal, let's just stick to this type of verb. Cool. All right. All right. All right. Looking good. Looking good. I've just got to say, the difference that this makes is huge, right? So if somebody's speaking to me and they say, Jay, the reports suggest, and they forget the little the difference between the report suggest and the report suggests is massive. It's just simply wrong when you don't put the S on the end of the verb. And when it's wrong, it just sounds wrong. Conversely, if somebody is speaking to me in English as their second language and they use this verb correctly, it sounds perfect. It sounds good. There's nothing uncomfortable about it. If somebody says, Jay, the report suggests, it's just a perfect subject and verb combination. It's an excellent thing. Make sure you get it right. Let me go smaller. Cool. Right, so here are the subjects. We've got the report, we've got energy, storms, plural, the results, plural, and the atmosphere, singular. Here are the verbs: suggest, convert, drive, result, take, and suggest, and heat, right? But the report suggest, no. Energy, convert, no. Energy, drive, it, result, storms, take, that's good. The results suggest, good. The atmosphere, heat, So we need to change these verbs. One thing does, the report, one thing. So we're going to have to change this one. Energy, one thing. This, we're going to have to change this. It's not energies, it's just energy. Energy, drive, we'll have to change that. It, result, one thing does, that's not right. And here, the atmosphere, one thing does. So let's have a look. The report suggests, energy converts, energy drives, it results, storms take place, the results suggest, atmosphere heats. Here they are here. Once again, the report suggests, energy converts, energy drives, it results, storms take, the results suggest, the atmosphere heats. So if there's no S here, we must put an S on the verb. No S, S on the verb. No S, S on the verb. In other words, if it's singular or one, we put an S on the verb. If it's one thing here, same thing here. Sorry, here. Storms, plural, no S on the verb. So if the S is on the noun, no S on the verb. Right? If there's no S on the, hold on. If there's no S on the noun, there is an S on the verb. It's just an inverse thing. If one has it, the other doesn't. If one doesn't have it, the other does have it. One thing does. So let's recap. We know that a sentence is subject, verb, object. Fine. And we know that there are two types of these do words. There's do and there's does. And it depends on the subject, right? Because one thing does. That's all you have to remember for these verbs. One thing does. That's the end. Let's go to Q&A. I hope that was helpful.